What do they actually expect from CA? Do they expect just covering up their mistakes?
Still, the small cities feel CA or chartered accountants are only for tax advisory.
Yeah.
Coming up to the end, and what is my tax? Tax kitna hai mera? So that's the scenario has gone now.
So what's your definition of financial leadership?
Unless until you have a perfect vision, you cannot able to achieve them.
Yeah.
That's where it stands. And
That's right.
discipline is always a need for any of the professionals, because that's how it makes you perfect.
Yeah. Welcome to Risk and Reward Corners, the ultimate podcast for traders, investors, and financial enthusiasts, brought to you by CityIndex. So today we have with us Mr. Shrinivas Deshpande, who is CA, partner at PG Bhagvat LLP, Chartered Accountants. Welcome, sir.
Hi, thank you.
How are you?
I am fine. Very nice.
So can we have a brief intro about yourself and your journey?
Yeah, sure. I'm CA, as you have mentioned, and I'm been in this profession from last 12 years.
Okay.
I cleared my chartered accountancy course in 2014 around.
Okay.
Post that, I was working in Pune for one of the big four. Then started my own practice and ventured into a practice domain.
Okay.
So initially, definitely it is a difficult task to get into the practice zone, because and having a handsome salary at the initial stage,
Yeah,
and
that's
leaving that big four,
difficult. Yeah.
and coming to have there at an stage wherein you have zero to start.
Yeah.
Right? But that always keeps you motivated when you start a new journey, and definitely the support of the better half always keeps you more motivated. So
Okay.
that's how it's been now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you arrive at becoming CA? Like,
Okay.
what inspired you to become CA?
That's during my school days. I heard one of the person giving a lecture on the commerce related courses
Okay.
during, I think, 8th or 9th.
Okay.
So during 8th or 9th, then I definitely fascinated about that to get into those CA course.
Stream. Yeah.
That's how I was chosen the CA course. And post that, I came to know about this course, how it works, and the 3 years articleship. That's how the journey went on.
Yeah. So many young professionals are overwhelmed by the audit work. So what do you think?
If you ask me,
I mean, how did you find motivation to get into
on this audit
work?
field, right?
Yeah.
Just see, audit is always the person. Any of the company, if you see audit, they will never like, because it's a post-mortem thing.
Yeah.
We are coming at the end, checking the things. So what I always felt at the beginning, from the beginning, when during my articleship period as well, is to keep motivated yourself. You should have a value addition to the clients.
Yeah.
Okay, at any point of time. So how do you have a value addition is knowing their business well. So audit is not only checking the numbers.
Yeah.
You should be well versed with their kind of business, what they are doing. So as I say, if I say my articles also, आप धंधे समझोगे, so definitely you will have
So you have to dive deep into the matter, like what the company does. And
see, because the basic thing of debit and credit will never change.
Yeah.
Debit assets, credit liabilities, debit the expense, credit the income. This will never change in the history of anybody's life.
Yeah.
But what keeps us more motivated and the enthusiasm is to understand how the managing director is managing their business, how they are running into many of the years, and how they are managing their risk, how they are managing their cash flow and fund flow. This is what keep you more motivated. Otherwise, checking is always been a traditional way of doing audit.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the audit methodology also have been changed a lot.
So the person should have attention to the detail, and they need to have a good observation. Do you think so? Or is it like it's generally done, the checking?
See, general cannot be.
What could be the potential skills that need to be there?
First, you need to know the basic what the company is doing. Relate that to a normal industry norms.
Yeah.
then you can able to do the audit. Audit is not so rocket science there, because you are checking the things whether they are moving in line with the required law.
Okay.
Right. So definitely law knowledge or the tax laws or the Companies Act, GST, all these knowledge are definitely is needed.
Yeah.
But relating that law or knowledge to an core business activities is where your skill set lies. So you need to know the business in deep. A deep dive has to be done. Then you can always do the audit at a satisfaction level of any of the practicing chartered accountant.
That's really well said. So what's a mistake professionals or young aspirants of CA make when they're approaching financial risk and planning?
Okay. See, I would first quote, I'm also not too old.
Or advisory, I mean.
Understand. So I'm not so too old. I'm
Okay.
still an young one. But coming back to
We
the
have
question.
12 years of experience.
Yeah, I understand that. That's true. But yeah, definitely the risk planning or risk managing, what mistake or rather what they should be planned to before planning the risk or before managing the risk is, deeply understanding the things.
Okay.
And before advising anybody, you should know the subject very well. Because the decisions or the advisory which a chartered accountant is giving, it's having an exponential value based on which major decisions are taken up.
That's true.
Right. So the financial decisions of investment, signing it off, or any of the decisions you may take, that are based on the quality advisory which is given by any chartered accountant.
Yeah.
So they should not really hurry up to give up the advice, to give the advices. They should be really taking their time, know the subject very well, plan it, and then only you can do. Because see, risk always will be there. It cannot be avoided.
Yeah.
But, innovative planning to mitigate that risk is what we generally have to do.
And that's right.
Right. That's
so, is there any situation wherein you have seen bias during the advices? Like, for example, you have, there are two CA. You have a company, same company you're, studying, and you have to give some advices, and depending on their situation and
okay.
Progress or anything. So, is there any bias or a particular belief that a particular person has? So, does an advice depend on that, or does the advice is affected by that?
See, if you ask me, there should not be any biasness if both chartered accountant knows the subject very well. Both are on the same parameters, knowing the integrity of the laws.
Yeah.
Then the outcome or the advisory should come in the same fashion.
Okay.
Right. So there should not be any biasness, because as professional we cannot work on biasness or emotions.
It's not like known bias.
Yeah,
it's like unknowingly. It's because you have certain belief. You tend to believe something, and the other CA tend to believe some other thing. So due to that, there might be differences in the advices.
Maybe there might be difference in the advices.
But would the advices be very contradictory, or
many times
kind of little similar or little difference?
So both way it can be, contradictory. Also, I have seen wherein we have been advised with one of the kind of outcome, but the other CA advices were different. And some of the things go similar way. But as I said, ultimately at the end we should come up with such solution which will help the client. Plus, it should be within the framework of the law that we need to follow. Right.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Then as we all professionals go together, so then at the end when the conclusions to be given, both discuss each other, and final conclusion can be drawn which is acceptable to both the CAs, who, even though they have a contradictory view. I have seen many times that as well, coming up with.
So you have seen clients who have taken a second opinion with other CA, do they go with one particular CA and they just.
We ourselves advise sometimes, to take a second opinion, because
so it's a huge decision that way.
Exactly. As I said, many of the financial decisions having enormous value if you attach to it. One of the person getting a funding, one of the person getting exit with this funding. So that depends a lot, and coming to a conclusion which is acceptable way is always needed. So we need to be open up to listen to the people, even though they are contradictory in view. But at the end, is what the law and the things should be followed.
That's really nice. But have you seen any? So, what do they actually expect from CA? Like, do they expect just covering up their mistakes, kind of thing? Like, it's like traditionally been seen that okay, if there is some mistake in the accounting or anything, so there comes in CA to manage all that things and something like that. Like, it's a mindset. Like, general people think that it's that way. So, how do you want to address this?
Now the scenario has changed. If you see, still the small cities feel CA or chartered accountants are only for tax advisory.
Yeah.
Coming up to the end, and what is my tax kitna hai mera? So that's the scenario has gone now, because CAs are emerging.
It takes a lot of time to beat this mindset, I guess.
Exactly, but it has beaten up right now. Currently I've seen the younger generation, or the second generations who have come up in the business, their ancillary business and all. So they are open up with the other kind of services which they need from a CA.
Yeah.
So if you see,
they can make things better.
Exactly. See, day to day
in the beginning.
Ideally, so I always recommend them to have an monthly checks or a quarterly checks for their accounts, so that things can be easily covered up, or rather it can be well rectified before the year end.
And it can run smoothly.
Exactly. So then some of the people are cannot afford CFO or Chief Financial Officer services, but there is a concept now called as virtual CFO services, which has come up now. So these kind of services any CA is offering to their client will yield them more value rather than going at the year end and doing the
definitely
audit. And that mindset has nowadays gone, because people are calling for every now and then for advisory to a CAs.
Yeah.
So that's how we feel proud to advise them on their major decisions.
That's awesome. So what's your definition of financial leadership in 3 words?
I would say, it's vision and discipline.
Yeah.
And then it's an impact. See, because a financial leader definitely should have a visionary in his acts.
Yeah.
Unless until you have a perfect vision, you cannot able to achieve them.
Yeah.
That's where it stands. And
right.
Discipline is always a need for any of the professionals, because that's how it makes you perfect on whatever you have planned to achieve them.
It makes you consistent.
Definitely, that's how it goes. And the impact, I would say, it's not only the profit and loss or balance sheet.
Yeah.
The impact is beyond the balance sheet.
Yeah.
Means it's giving a core value to the society, where as a company or as an advisory is, it's not only making the profits every year and then.
Yeah.
So as a financial leader, I should always see what I'm giving to a society. Am I giving to an society what is a need? And am I satisfied with them, with whatever I have planned for the same? So core value beyond balance sheet is what impact should always be. We should be targeting to have.
Okay, that's really great. Yeah. So one takeaway you want every financial aspirant to have in their risk management.
As I said in the beginning, the risk is always will be there in any of the businesses, but innovative strategies to curb that risk is what matters a lot.
Yeah.
So I would give one example, wherein the MACDs, wherein they had their outlets at highway.
Yeah.
Near to the highways and all.
That's right.
So first time when they came up with those outlets, that time that beside the outlets of the MACD, there will be our own Indian restaurants as well.
Yeah.
Like Udupi Dosa, those things also will be there. Our Indian people will go and use the washrooms, because washrooms are very clean in MACD.
Yeah.
But go out and eat into the other restaurant.
Indian restaurant.
But if anybody would have been there, management, they would have said like lock laga lo, washroom.
Just stop, but don't let them.
Don't make them to use unless until they eat and all. MACD didn't do that. What they done is they made the washrooms more clean.
Yeah.
They said let them use with their comfortable way. And over the years, how it has happened is the people coming up with they said "Are chalo, we'll have something," because they came up with the fries, the butter fries, which they have with an unique idea of getting them hot delivered during the whenever they visit for the restaurant. So, and they had that salt which was very unique in itself.
Yeah.
So that's how they come up with this idea. And whenever the person's approaching to have an snacks of this fries and all, they had their team trained. If you see, they will say, sir, fries hai, uske saath aap meal le lo. It will be costing you very less, like 100 rupees ka fries hai, 150 rupees ka meal mil jayega.
Some of the strategies.
Yeah. So this is how they have grown their revenue to 8x.
Yeah.
So innovative way to curb your risk is always need, right now, because see, risk as such, we need to have, we call it in our financial term as a risk control matrix. Okay, it's to be more specific, it is like, we'll have a risk against which we have a controls which can mitigate this risk. Okay, so which control we should have, which are the control which can operate well. So these are always in need of an hour right now, so that because everything comes up in business is associated with the risk.
Yeah.
So we know better to mitigate it, we know better to control it, we know better to control in a right way. That's is where we can really fly well, I would say.
Yeah, that's really great. But I would also like to know that you said there is a matrix, there is a grid you follow. So can you speak something about it? Like, can our audience know, since you have mentioned it, so they'll be very curious to know what that might be.
See, that is risk control matrix as I was referring to, is nothing but every business has to have internal controls. If you see, the process of means there will be processes, like for example, there's a sales is a process, purchase is a process, payroll means the employee benefit expenses or a payroll or a salary is a process. So these are the processes already there in every company. Okay, so what can go wrong is a risk under this sales. If you see, if the documents are not approved by higher authorities or related authorities, then the risk is like, fictitious sales. That's a risk. Purchases, fictitious payment. That's a risk if there is no approval for the payment. So this is a matrix wherein risk associated with each process are identified and documented and mapped with the control which an entity has. So for example, in the sales, the company has a control of approving the purchase orders by an MD.
So it will be internal one.
It's the internal controls which a company has. So better the controls, better the management.
Yeah. That's truly awesome. So I think our audience would definitely know what those metrics are. And if they are learning and studying it, they would definitely implement what you said, like how it goes and everything. So it's really awesome.
Thank you.
So in your experience, why is it crucial for everybody to have their financial management done? Like not just finance professionals, but everybody.
See, everybody should have at least a minimal knowledge of finances, managing their money.
Basic money management.
Basic money management. Definitely, because if you see, there is saying that it's required to brush your teeth every day.
Yeah.
But you need not to have a doctor for it. You need to only know to manage, how to maintain your teeth, right?
Yeah.
So in the same fashion, we need to always to know how to manage the money, not in a professional way, but at least to the extent that how much I'm spending.
You have some accountability.
How much I am, expensing and spending as such, and how much I'm saving. What is my future 5 years plan? So I always do my next 5-year plan. I always write my investments, my liabilities or my loans and all in one of the paper, because we don't predict we don't know what can be the future. We don't predict ourselves to be there tomorrow or not. So we need to have our family members not to suffer when that something happens. So then
you need to have some budgeting.
Exactly. So then that should be known to your close family members. That should be definitely known. So they will be again unaware of the things, that what is your saving, what is your loans.
If they doesn't know that there is even a bank account existing, so it doesn't make sense making it up.
Exactly. It need not be only.
I've heard stories of sorry to interrupt you, but I've heard stories of in this insurance thing, like they have made life insurances, but after their death they couldn't identify, the family couldn't identify about it.
Exactly. So nowadays the term insurance is very important for you, any professional, because And insurance is not an investment, I would say always. Insurance is to insure yourself.
Yeah,
Investments,
that's right.
there are different. So that's how, as you were saying, people may not be knowing what insurance a male in the family has. Rather, not only a male, female, both of them has to discuss their financial plans. Once sit in the week and get a financial plan.
Yeah.
My wife is not from a commerce background, so she might not be liking me discussing a financial matters with her, but definitely that where
Everyone
you
should
need
know
to
about it. Yeah.
you know the things that what is lying with you as an asset, as a liability, then you can better plan if some of the happenings happen. So that's how we need to have a basic knowledge of a money management.
You don't have it in school, right? So
Yeah.
nowhere. So
Exactly.
unless you are a commerce student, you don't have any finance related things. And
True.
so there are engineers, software
Mhm.
engineers,
Mhm.
any engineer kind of people, and they do not know how to manage their finances unless and until they deliberately learn it. So
Correct.
it's not automatically in our system. So
True.
there needs to be something in the education system as well.
Definitely, I think the new scheme of education is coming up with mixture of the subjects, as I have seen, wherein the student can opt for certain accounting subjects and certain science subjects, certain law subjects, art subjects.
Altogether.
Yeah, so that will
So that
have
they
an
do
impact.
not miss out on any of the part of their life.
Right. So otherwise, what happens, only having a science as their curriculum and not knowing about money at all will never help.
Yeah,
Will never
because
help.
they have to live with the money.
Yeah, they have to. If money is there, then you are there. Otherwise, it is difficult. And not only money, you should know how to manage it.
Yeah.
Because money will have today 1 rupee value. Definitely will be not 1 rupee or same value after 2 years.
Yeah.
So you need to know how to grow it rather than only having it, how to grow it. That's where the decision lies.
That's very well said. So where do the professionals go wrong in managing their finances?
Okay.
From your career, like in your career, have you seen people doing it? Like,
see, they going wrong means things they have to get start early. I would say even I have maybe lost around 3-4 years wherein I would have started my saving early. I would have started my managing the money early. So where they go wrong generally is they don't plan it early stage. If they plan it at the early stage, the things can be managed very well. And see, for example, now a person or a student can be a CA at the age of 22, 21, somewhere. So it's a very young age.
At a minimum.
Yeah, if you clear it at first attempt, you will be done with 22 years of age, your CA. So you have a long span with you.
Yeah.
You can really well plan it. So the early you plan, the early you get the returns, the early you can get retired.
Yeah.
That's how people say.
That's exactly right. So I wanted to know, since our podcast series is risk and reward, it's all about risk and reward.
Mhm.
So what's your definition of risk and reward?
Risk is everybody should be knowing what level of risk he is taking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, means it's not only the returns, it's a longevity, because you need to know how many years you need to be stayed with that investments or whatever the decisions you have taken. Rewards will follow with that, I would say. Means, when is a well planned risk, reward will definitely follow along with the same. I cannot have an big returns or somewhere in
Is it like
initial
कर्म
stages.
किए जाओ फल की चिंता ना करो?
I would not say that saying fully applied to be.
Okay.
You फल की चिंता ना
The
करो.
way you said, I related that. So I
Understand?
just
No, that's
mentioned
not an issue. See, फल की चिंता ना करो. Instead of that, फल कैसे grow हो रहा है वो देखो. You need to take a decision
keep a
in
check
between.
on it.
Yeah,
Monitor.
and you need to take a decision in between, whether to shift it to something else, or are you
or continue the same way.
when. So that's is very need.
You have to keep analyzing and
Exactly. So you need to analyze frequently, because the market nowadays behaves, if then sometimes up, sometimes down. That too, very short span of time, and so that's the keeping a track of it will help always.
Yeah, you said that risk. We have to just plan about the risk and know what is the risk capacity, and reward follows. So, is there somewhere like you plan your rewards as well along with the risk you're taking?
Reward
Can the rewards be planned?
See, reward cannot be planned fully. Reward can be analyzed.
Analyze,
it cannot be planned. It can be just analyzed. Like, I can get this return.
Probability,
right? So we can only plan is our risk, or mitigate is our risk. Reward as such we cannot plan as. So we need to analyze that reward in the initial stage. Like, you have multiple options available with you.
So reward doesn't has a close end; it's an open end. So
ideally, so
it can change.
Ideally, because whatever I would have predicted earlier, it might go wrong also. So that is why I said regular keeping a watch on it will help us. So reward should be analyzed as such. It cannot be planned anytime.
That's very well said. So it would help many of them who are thinking that they can plan their rewards along with the risk. Like, if I take this risk, this should be the reward. So that's not the case. So they have to know, and they have to implement it
exactly
as soon as possible.
Right. That's true.
So your advice for someone who think that finance is not my cup of tea, or finance is not my thing. So
it is
like they say that, okay, I'll learn it later. Right now it's not necessary. Okay, somebody is taking care of it for me.
Okay. See, it's like, saying that health is not my cup of tea, and it is like, I'll have my vegetables and food afterwards, right?
Okay.
So you cannot do that. Health is your cup of tea. You have to eat every day. So in the same fashion, you cannot have the financial matters postponed to something future or somewhere.
It should be the priority.
It should be the priority.
Like you breathe and eat every day.
Exactly. That's how it goes.
Very well said, sir. So is there a quote or a principle you live by when it comes to finance?
Quote and principle.
Or financial decision making. Any decision making, you have certain principles like you follow. Okay, this is my edge.
Those principle ideally lies with, you mean to say the...
your own principles.
Okay.
So you definitely see that it doesn't, go against the law.
Right.
It's within the law, but that's your professional front.
Right.
But is there your principle, your own principle wherein, I'll do within this limit or something like that? You have your own principle for a decision making.
See, principles, as I said, should come with ethics, and ideally those principles as such, we cannot preliminarily imagine them, but so then we need to have ethical way of addressing them, so that automatically follows with whatever decisions to be taken at financial level. So first is ethics is main important, and as I was saying, the impact what you give to the society, so that has to be into your principle, right? So then you can very well able to sustain in any of the financial the stress or financial difficulties.
Like, is there any quote you live by?
Quote in means saying?
Quotes like don't keep your all eggs in a single basket or something like that.
Okay. As such quote, I could not remember much, but definitely
like it affected you a lot, and you live by that. Something like that.
See, I would always say that plan well instead of having your the stress factor at the end and imagining that I would have done this, I would have followed this. So if you plan,
regrets.
So you cannot have any regret once you're not you cannot have a regret when you're not planned it earlier. So if you're planned and then the rewards are not becoming in that fashion is a secondary, but
we can change the way accordingly.
Exactly. So then planning is the quote, what I would say. Plan really well so that you can able to achieve your goals in a proper form.
Sometimes execution is the issue rather than planning. What would you like to say about it?
See, execution, which if you have a knowledge, then definitely an execution will be follows with that. Like, you need to have a team, a better team to get it done in a better way. Single-handedly, a single person cannot execute entire things. So execution will play a vital role, definitely. But with an understanding of people or like-minded people, it would also be managed in a better way.
Sure. Like, I just wanted to know that front, like, okay, now decision making, when for me, it's a decision making, what I do, I also look for signs. So there are certain signs which plays a vital role, like, it gets in a particular way, like there's a dilemma and I get some sign that, okay, I have to choose this for some reason. So that way, like anything such happens with you.
So emotions should not be in line with the financial decision. That's what I say.
Okay.
Emotion definitely should be kept
Not
aside.
just about your advices and your professional career. It's all about your personal decision making as well. So decision making is everywhere in life, right?
Ideally. See, if it comes to finance, you need not have to go with emotions, because numbers never go with emotions. Numbers go with their own strategy. With personal front, you have to be balanced. That's what I say. You have to be balanced to take a right decisions. You cannot only have a practical way of doing it.
Okay.
You need to have an also analyze what impact it has on the other person before taking those decisions when it comes to personal ground.
So you said you have done your CA in 2014. So before that, I heard you have done CS or something. So what was that like?
See,
why were you interested very much towards law before, and then you switched to CA?
Exactly. See, in 2009, I did my BCom, and post that, till that time, I had already enrolled for a company secretary and had cleared the foundation as well. And so initially I had an likings towards, or still I have an liking towards the law, company law subject, business law subject. So that is why I had chosen the company secretary exam. But as I said, my passion towards CA was there from my schooling days from 8th and 9th. So I took chartered accountant course as my final course to be dealt with, and to have a career in that career in that practice. So as a CS, I have only a degree, so I cannot practice it rather. So only a degree, but definitely knowledge is always whatever useful, knowledge we got, always it will be useful. So, and if you see in my articleship also, some of the advisories on company law front, and partners used where many times asked, asked. So that was a proud feeling, when, because during my last year,
well versed with the both subject matter expertise.
So then during my last year of articleship only, I had cleared my second leg of the company secretary exam. So that was an added edge. That time, if you see the
that's
stipend,
truly great. Like back then, it was long back, so 2009, and
so that time stipend was really 1,000 rupees per month, if you ask me. Then managing within that is always a crucial way. So and then means it's, I think, around 2,500, 3,500, 4,500. 1,000 was the starting first 6 months. And then once the only motivation I got when I cleared my CS is last year my stipend was doubled. So from 4,500 it was to 9,000. So
that was a great motivation for you.
Yeah, entire financial planning, if you see, has an more cushion now. That's how it went that time.
That's really great. And you need to have a lot of patience to go through all this process.
Exactly. See, because that's 3 years, you need to have an articleship. Now they have made it 2 years. But rather than process, it teaches you many things like accounting.
There needs to be patience, I guess.
Ideally, you need to be patient, because it's not a first attempt or something which you can clear, or many people clear it. But definitely, if nothing is happening, or you're not cleared, it is not an end. It's still a beginning. So you need to be more patient. You need to follow the things and study well, and definitely will clear once. And once you clear, nobody asks you how much attempt you took. Right. So nobody asks any CA how much attempt he took.
It's just the result, not the whole process. Nobody asks about the process.
Exactly. So then, once the degree is there with your name, you will be valued. Even though you don't know anything, but still you will be valued. So that's why I tell my articles, so have a better knowledge rather than only a degree. You have a good knowledge, then the respect will always be there.
Right? What one thing would you like to suggest to the CA aspirants, as you are CA today, and you have also done CS? So what one thing would you like to say to those both aspirants?
Okay. So CA aspirants, as we were mentioning earlier also, don't lose your patience. The things will move in according to you. Only one failure or two failure will not stop you to achieve the things which you have planned for the future. Right? So don't lose the hopes. keep studying, keep getting the knowledge, you'll definitely clear the things. So, because at the end, you will not be placed as an account manager or somewhere.
Yeah.
You will be placed at the top level.
Yeah.
Like, for example, a company secretary will always be an legal compliance officer in any of the companies. And a chartered accountant will always be at the higher, like a CFO or an VP, Vice President Finance. So those, the positions definitely require more patience rather than what you have in your clearing the exams.
Yeah.
That positions requires more patience ideally, and more kind of an knowledge, to take a right decision. So those things you need to acquire during your articleship. Okay, because articleship also matters a lot. You need to have and choose the better firm so that you will learn the things in a better way.
Yeah.
And because 3 years itself was not sufficient, I would say, because now 2 years
it's a lifelong learning kind.
Yeah. So 2 years still is a very short period to learn everything, but they have to decide their path. Like, if they want to be into tax consultancy, then they can have that subject itself as an core, and there are departments available within the firm. The Big Four have it, the departments within them, and even our firm has, the many CA firm has. So they can choose those particular departments and expertise themselves, because those we cannot be expert in every subject. So they can be expertise in that way. And CS, they'll definitely have their career into legal compliance officer, because if you see nowadays, the craze of IPO is increased, right? So every now and then we need the advisory from company secretaries. Yeah. Because this SME IPO, all these things have
there are a lot of things which is available for everybody.
Exactly. See, no professional would die without having a work. That's definitely will happen. Definitely one or the other way he'll have a work.
They can utilize their knowledge.
Internally, interconnection is very important. CA, CS or any CA colleagues and all those things. Because see, for a company to incorporate, we need CACS. For a company to wind up also, we need CACS. So there is nothing to worry about whether we'll have a work or not. You will definitely have a work. Aspiring to become a CA, be a CA and become a CA, and you'll have many things to come forward.
So many of them just give up during the articleship is what I have seen or heard. So is it because the stipend or that kind of motivation they do not have? For male, it's a kind of pressure, right? So during the journey, if they have not cleared it within some time, or during articleship, they have very hardship, something like that.
See, during articleship, stipend is just an, the payment towards catching up their expenses, routine expense, not for the investment. I would always say the articles, that don't see the stipend as investment to make an investment in SIP or in investment in mutual fund, or in of the stocks and or something. So
but
I would
still,
say
even today the stipend is very less, right?
See, we have now they have come up
kind of some reason, like particular reason that okay, this is done because to just check the patient's level of them or something like that?
No, nothing like that. If you ask me, see, that's now the stipend has been doubled by the institute also. Earlier it was, now it is around 3, 4 and 5,000 what generally they have recommended. So that is quite enough to have your expenses in a tier 2 city covered. Tier 3 cities anyhow, see, whatever recommended by say, still every firm pays more than that. So I would rather say, don't see the stipend, see the work knowledge what you have during those 2 years. Earlier at least it was 3 years, now you have only 2 years. So in these 2 years, the final, we say that in audit there is a finalization, means at the end every financial should be closed. Those finalizations in span of 2 years they will only get for once. So the knowledge what they get in during these 2 years is very important rather than seeing the stipend. Because
still I couldn't know, like, why do they quit during articleship? Like, if even they have the capability of clearing the final examination, they tend to give up in articleship. Like, I have heard that, I couldn't know how and why.
One, two problems what I could see is a peers pressure. Somebody is already clearing, I am not clearing, would always make them more pressured. some financial decisions in the family maybe also making them to quit it. But see, what I see is you already come up to that ladder at the end of the ladder.
Yeah.
So it's just a couple of steps away. Make that effort. You will clear.
Giving up at that stage doesn't make sense. is what you say.
Because see, half CA का concept ही नहीं है.
Yeah.
Even though there is a series of half CA broadcasted
Lot of
there,
people,
but
yeah.
there is no concept of half CA. Either you are CA or you are not
No.
CA.
Yeah.
So I would always say, don't give up any time during any of your curriculum. You make focused, you will clear, because it's not a exam wherein because see, today there are 3.5 lakh CAs as members.
Yeah.
So they are clear, right?
They're
so
practicing.
yeah, they are practicing. More than 1 lakh people are practicing. So and plan it well, your studies, so you will clear it. So no need to bother about what the result. You plan your studies, you will definitely have an results at the end.
So that it's been a very great time with you,
Thank
and
you.
it's been a wonderful time. Like I would say that I got to know a lot of things about the CA and CS
Okay.
domain, I guess. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
With just one invite, you have been with us.
No, my pleasure. Thank you very much.